Hello, everyone. Dr. Melissa Tranquille here today. How are you doing? A special welcome to you if you're joining me live. If you're watching the replay, I'm glad that you're sharing your time with me as well. Totally appreciate it. Now, today we're going to talk about step six in our seventh part series, Seven Steps to Launching Your Online Coaching Business. So, any new coaches watching us today, or any new coaches watching the replay, if you are a new coach and or you've recently started your coaching business, this will be a great training to watch, of course, from step one, so you can get the process. I'll do a quick recap in a few moments, but this is ideally for you. It gives you those seven steps in really simplified terms. Try as much to simplify it as possible without complicating things, because the thing about we humans, we tend to complicate things a lot. And the best approach is always to simplify it and take it one step at a time. So now let's have a quick recap. Step one, in with regards to the seven steps that I'm presenting to you, and of course, there's so much more that is involved. But again, this is like the simple things, key, important, significant steps that you must consider when launching into your online coaching business. And the first step, in my opinion and experience, is to understand your deep why. We went through that in step one because you want to start off on the right footing. You want to have the right motivation behind what you do. So, finding that deep why is definitely the first step that you should take. And I talked about finding that deep why, not just from the personal perspective, but also in terms of meeting your customers' needs, right? What is it that you want to provide for your customers? So you should really check that out. Step two, I talked about how you want to help your clients. Once you have that deep why, that grounded reason as to why you want to start your online coaching business, the next thing you want to figure out is, how do I really want to help my clients? And some of you may already have this nailed down, but for some of you, you're not totally sure if this is the area that you want to be in. And if you find yourself in that category, then of course you should consider some of the exercises that I talked about in step two to figure out how you want to help your clients. Step three, we talk about, taking time to understand who you want to serve. So it's developing your ideal client avatar. It makes absolutely no sense to try to run a business without understanding your customers. Hence, the reason why this step is quite crucial, and it's a step that many coaches tend to overlook, at least when they're launching off and starting off in the process, or if not overlook, but fail to provide sufficient attention to go as in depth as they need to go in this area. Step four now in the seven part series is about, the creating the steps that your ideal client must take to get the big results that you promised them. In a nutshell, I talked about creating your coaching program framework and outline. And of course, that's really, really important, because that is the thing that is this will incorporate the work that you will do with your client, at the various levels. It will incorporate the work that you will do with your client to take them from that point of, they've come to you with their problem, they're struggling in this area, and these are the steps that you will be taking them through to get them to where they want to go to get them to that quantifiable, to get them to that tangible result that will transform their life or their business. So you don't want to miss that. Step five, that was yesterday's training. We talked about increasing your visibility so you could be seen as the expert. And of course, if this is something you need more in, it's totally impossible to go as in depth as I wanted to go during the training, since the purpose and objective of this training. But of course, you'll be able to glean some key facts and some ways you could start doing this immediately in your business. So today, let's talk about step six. Step six in the seven part series on how to launch your online coaching business is simply creating an irresistible offer. Now, there's so much I can say about it, but one thing that I really, really want to say is that I'm going to share a perspective on creating the irresistible offer that you need to think about before you actually get to that offer point, right? So bear with me. For those of you who might be totally new to this, you're listening to this training wondering what an irresistible offer is. It's just one that directly responds to the needs of your potential clients. It's an offer that your potential client will look at and it will be very hard to say no to. Can you recall a moment when you found yourself in that situation while shopping online, whether it's on Amazon or some other website or Etsy or some other website, and you read that sales script and it was really difficult to say no to, and you kept coming back to that page a couple of times until you actually made the purchase, right? So of course, it's one that directly responds to the needs of that ideal client. That offer directly responded to a need that you had, and it was a great offer for the price. And you definitely clicked that link, added it to your basket, and made that purchase. So, what I want to share today when we talk about creating that irresistible offer, my thought comes from something Robert Cialdini, I think, in his book Influence mentioned. He talks about in trying to create influence and impacting your customers. He talks about the connection between consistency and commitment. And I had to think about that consistency and commitment. And this is what I came up with. I believe that your irresistible offer is not just the end package for you. It's not just the end package that you prepare. That is only the final destination. It starts from the moment, from the very, very first point of contact with your client. This is the thinking, the approach that you need to have behind your offer. So some coaches, they put a lot of work into creating their coaching program, into setting up their coaching business, and into that final offer that they will make at the end, and insufficient attention to the very start of the process. At that very first point of contact, it begins from there. That is how I want you to look at it. From the moment your ideal client gets into contact with you, you take them on a journey now. Going back to what Robert Cialdini talks about, a journey now to making that commitment. You get them to say yes to that free resource that you're offering. You get them to say yes to the challenge that you're inviting them to attend. You get them to say yes to the webinar that you're inviting them to attend. You get them to say yes to download those free templates or checklists. That commitment, you get them to make a commitment from that first point of contact, right? And then your next aim, based on the principle that he was sharing, is consistency. So your next aim is to provide value and to keep constantly showing up. That when you do make the irresistible offer at the end, you know, it seems like the next natural thing to do. Does that make sense? And if you're watching the replay, let me know if this makes sense to you. When you do make that irresistible offer at the end, it is just the next natural thing for you to do. Tell me, have you bought a product or training from someone and they didn't offer you like a million? And these, I know I'm really stressing here, a million bonuses, but you get my point. But you've come to trust them because they consistently give out value, they're always showing up, and you've come to trust what it is that they provide that you bought from them without having the 20 bonuses attached to it. So your task now for step 6 is something we call, you're going to create your lead generation funnel, just a simple one, which is the process, of course, of funneling that target audience until they've decided to make a purchase from you. So you're going to create just a simple one. Have a think, first of all, about your free offer. What is it that you're going to offer them for free? Whether it's a resource, a free resource, an ebook, or a checklist, worksheets, or some video training, an email series, or a webinar invite to an amazing training that responds to their needs. Have a think about that free offer. This is at the very top of your funnel, right? Because you want to attract those persons. Of course, you need to go where your ideal client hangs out, as we covered in step 3, I believe. Go to where your ideal client hangs out to try to drive traffic to that opt-in page that you would have designed to your free offer. But you have to have a think of how you're going to start this funnel. How are you going to get them funnel into you? So have a think about that free offer. It must respond to a pain point, a key pain point that your ideal client is actually struggling with. Then you have a think of the email marketing or the nurturing campaign that will follow from the moment that they've joined your list, from the moment they've subscribed to that to get those free templates or to your webinar. And once they've attended the webinar, what is the nurturing process that's going to take place to begin to nurture them? Now, at this point, your focus is on interacting with your subscribers, engaging with them. And then finally, think about how now you're going to funnel any of those well qualified leads to your offer. So you've gotten them, say you've offered a free ebook and persons really, really wanted that free ebook. You got maybe 50 signups, and then you had a nurturing campaign where you engaging and with your interacting with your audience, with your subscribers. Then how now are you going to funnel those qualified leads to your offer? You may consider, for instance, at this point, hosting a webinar and offering a training program, your coaching program at the end. Or you may consider directly sending an email out, an email blast out, and letting them know that, hey, click the link if you want a free discovery call. Or you may send them directly to your website where they can land on your sales page that offers your coaching program. And hey, you know, book your spot immediately. Choose your payment plan, sign up, ready to go. So it's up to you. Your business, you run it your way, and that's the beauty of it. You run it your way, you run it according to that inner guidance that you receive. You run it the way you would love to run it. Design a funnel that you would love to design and that is the best journey to take your client on to get them to that point where they can work with you and you can make a difference in their lives. So that's it for step 6. Isn't this amazing? So remember, when you're working on step 6, which of course is creating an irresistible offer, I want you to first have a think about your funnel, that lead generation funnel, and then 2-step process. At the end of the process now, make a list of what you can offer to your package to make it more irresistible, what sorts of bonuses you can offer to your coaching program, whether it's worksheets, whether it's templates, whether it's checklists, whether it's a workbook, whether it's accountability calls, whether it's different video trainings, certifications, whatever it is that you offer, what now you can offer to that package to make it more irresistible when the time comes to actually purchase. So that's it for step 6, and woohoo, tomorrow it's step 7. Let me know if this has been valuable to you. Feel free to comment below, and I'll see you again tomorrow for step 7. Bye for now.